professionals. Leather furniture comes in a variety of colors and styles. Its comfort is legendary, and its durability is phenomenal. Choose from the latest leather fashions, from stationary sofas to full-color reclining sofas, and get 15% off or 6 years no interest at Cardi's. If your child is on medication, don't need your household products. Had a reaction, right or stay. Call the poison helpline first for fast. Save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. And now, we return to guest host Todd Herman of the EIP Network.
Oh, it's such an honor to sit in for Rush Limbaugh. Remember, you can leave Rush a note, special note at rushlimbaugh.com. And also, if you're not yet a member of Rush 24/7, just last night, I had a conversation on Twitter with some gentleman who filled in on Tuesday. He was trying to find some things that I talked about. The fill-ins even get to be in there. But more to the point was, I was able to point him to 3 or 4 things that Rush said early on about COVID. And we had this fascinating conversation. So if you haven't done that yet, I encourage you to do this. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk with Alex Barrington. Alex was a New York Times reporter. He's sort of a class traitor. He is now out telling the data-driven truth about COVID-19. And I hope that you have friends who are concerned about this, because the Democrats are going to make this the election. At the end, and when President Trump is reelected, they will then impeach him on his response to COVID. I hope you have people join around who are concerned about this, because I want you to have the data. So we're going to get into that next hour on Rush's show. We're talking about Kamala Harris, legal insurrection. Incidentally, the gentleman who runs that, Professor William Jacobson, is someone I count as a friend. The left is trying to destroy his professorship. If you can support the site, it's a great site, you can do that. He was also a great supporter of Rush very early on. When Rush would, and we help each other. He points out that Kamala Harris, talking about these 2 people that she is, or these 3 people, she has said that 18 to 24-year-old human beings are stupid. She has also said, let's have a conversation about lowering the age of voting to 16. Any time Mike Pence is called to debate Kamala Harris or answer questions about Kamala Harris, the answer should begin with, well, again, I don't know which Kamala Harris you're asking me to address. The one who says 16-year-olds should vote, or the one who says that 18 to 24-year-olds are stupid? I don't know which one you want me to respond to. So can you, the reporter, tell me which Kamala version, because there's 4 or 5 different versions of her, so which one do you want me to respond to? The current one today? Play it this way. Without this incredible malleability, I promise you, I am not comfortable around morally malleable people at all. Let's talk to Dawn. Dawn is in Long Island, New York. Dawn, you're on the Rush Limbaugh program. It's Todd Herman filling in. Welcome, Dawn.
Hello, Todd. How are you?
Doing fantastic, sir. Thanks for calling.
Very good. I think the president and the Republicans should do, for the time being, is just ignore her right now.
Just like she's not in the room?
Yes, completely ignore her now, and then go on the attack like the last week of September all the way through October, because what's going to happen is someone's going to label them as racist with their comments, and it'll give some time for a reset for the Trump campaign, and then go on the attack. And then what will the left do? The left will say, well, when they continue with the same attack, they're going to say, oh, this is just a repeat. This is just a repeat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I was thinking of the scene in the movie Tombstone. There's so many favorite scenes from the movie Tombstone. I was thinking of the scene where Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer, leaves Billy Bob Thornton standing there with a shotgun as he talks to Wyatt Earp the whole time, and then finally Val Kilmer looks over at Billy Bob Thornton and says, "Oh, I forgot you were there." He has to go down.
And the other thing I would tell the Trump campaign to do is try to call Tulsi Gabbard.
There is talk of Tulsi Gabbard being a crossover speaker at the Republican convention because what's his name? His dad was a mailman. What's the name again? It's Kasich. Is that it? Is it Jeff or Dave? Oh, it's John Kasich. Yeah, John. Yeah, his dad was a mailman. So he's going to go define conservatism at the Democrat convention. So maybe he'll do that. Tom, thanks for the call from Long Island. Appreciate it. Yeah, John Kasich speaking at the Democrat convention. I don't know that Biden's speaking at the Democrat convention. That apparently John Kasich, whose dad was a mailman, is going to speak at this convention. I'm just looking at the phones. Oh, later on. A Democrat who's excited about Kamala Harris. We'll get to that. We'll talk to Marty in Chatworth, California. Marty, welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program. It's Todd Herman filling in.
Thank you, Todd. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I have a scenario. Before I give you the scenario, I first want to say thank you for championing our country and everybody else there that voted for Trump and we're hanging in there. I followed Trump for a long time. I was following him when he came down the escalator. And matter of fact, when he fired Gene Simmons, I knew, you don't fire Gene Simmons. He's a perfectionist. Oh my God.
Gene Simmons is kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is like super perfectionist. But anyway, I wouldn't bet against Trump. We got one smart president, I'll tell you that much. But the scenario is this. I think they hate him so much, and they want revenge, which is from the Obama administration. I mean, Biden's connected to this. Biden and Obama. Is if Kamala Harris, if they're elected, in about 6 months, Joe starts to get a little sick, not feeling good, maybe can't do the job, he resigns, Kamala Harris becomes president, and Nancy Pelosi becomes our vice president. That's ultimate revenge, and it's scary. That is scary.
What drives you to scare 60 million Americans in such a way? What deep-seated need do you have, Marty, to cause us such consternation?
Well, it's thinking one step ahead, and that's what our president does. He's way ahead of everybody, but that's the scenario. Maybe I shouldn't say it on the air. Maybe I'd say, oh, that's a great idea. But I just say knowledge is power, and kind of be one step ahead of the enemy. And
I'm gonna jump in on one thing, Marty. That's the biggest myth in the world, that knowledge is power.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that a myth?
It's potential power. Knowledge in your head is potential power. It's how you use it. So what we need to do is take this knowledge, this forethought that you've given the American people, Marty, and we need to have yet one more reason to vote for president. Did you hear what Marty said that can happen? Take the potential power, the knowledge that Marty has given you, the potential for what could happen in the country, store that away inside and build up into the energy to volunteer to make phone calls for the president, to knock on the doors for the president, to do anything and everything you can, even down second, to make sure that we win this. That's all I'm saying. Knowledge is potential power. It's arming yourself. But you have arms and weapons that are not used, right? They're potential. We need, as Republicans, to get out of the knowledge game. And we keep getting knowledge, but we need to apply it. This is going to be a turnout election. It's going to be a door-knocking election. So you have part frightened me, you've part motivated me, and probably 60 million other people. Thank you, Marty, for the phone call. Appreciate it very much. And to Marty's point, here's the thing that I hope people are paying attention to. And look, I don't want to scare people. That's the last thing I want to do, but I want you to understand something. In the opening monologue, we talked about the Democrats with the street soldiers, the destroying of the city of Chicago, the continuous 72 nights of rioting in Portland, the seizing of government property in Seattle. They've been given a fire station, by the way. Most people don't know that. They've been given a fire station, or was it decommissioned fire station to be accurate? New York City, they seized land. How do you shut